The movie Ghosted is a blend of romance, action, and comedy, revolving around Cole, a romantic, needy, and insecure individual with a history of driving women away, who impulsively travels to London to surprise Sadie, whom he's only met once. Unaware that Sadie is a CIA agent, their meeting triggers a series of unexpected events, plunging Cole into an exhilarating global quest to save the world. As the movie begins, we are introduced to Sadie, a young girl driving around the outskirts of Washington, D.C. Suddenly, her phone rings, and she answers the call from a person named Dr. Yates. During their conversation, Sadie learns about the sudden passing of her colleague, and this news deeply affects her. Despite barely knowing the girl who passed away, Sadie confesses that she has been feeling incredibly down since the tragic event. At the market, we meet Cole Turner, who recently experienced a breakup. He confides in Edna, a fellow market seller, but she gossips about his situation. When Edna steps away, Sadie enters her plant stall. Cole approaches Sadie and learns she needs a low-maintenance plant due to her busy schedule. As Cole prepares to sell Sadie the plant, he hesitates, feeling uneasy about the sale, fearing she might kill it. This causes an argument between them. Edna arrives, intervening in the situation, and instructs Sadie to pay $10 for the plant, which she does before leaving. After Sadie departs, Edna urges Cole to ask her out, despite his initial reluctance. He eventually follows Sadie to her car, considering the idea. Initially, Cole invites her for a cup of coffee, which slightly unsettles her as they had just argued. Though she declines at first, as Cole starts to leave, she has a change of heart and calls him back, admitting that she could actually use a cup of coffee. Subsequently, he joins her in her car, and together, they set off on the road. They find themselves spending an extended period together, exploring various locations. During their time together, she shares her profession as an art curator, which requires her to travel, while he reveals his current venture in writing a book about plants. Their conversation shifts to horror movies, and in that context, Sadie confidently asserts that she has made a decision not to be afraid of anything, as fear has no hold over her. Later, she recounts a story of how she and her mother escaped from the country on a raft. It was an intense and frightening experience for everyone involved, but her mother exhibited remarkable courage. After that eventful day, she made a resolute choice to emulate her mother's bravery, and as a result, fear no longer holds power over her. They continue spending the entire day and night together, heading to a bar where she fearlessly takes the stage to sing. Encouraging him to join in, she extends an invitation, but he finds himself too nervous to do so. She expresses to him that she seeks a partner akin to a self-sufficient cactus capable of enduring prolonged absences, given her frequent international travels. Currently feeling devoid of reliable companionship, she longs for someone who can be there for her, as her life feels unsatisfying. In the following scenes, they share intimate moments, evident from their passionate makeout session, and as he escorts her home, their connection intensifies into a passionate and wild encounter. Afterward, he returns home and shares the news about her with his parents. They express excitement, but his sister, Maddie, cautions him that he tends to get carried away and might mess things up. Despite this, he tells his parents that he believes she could be the one, even though his mom acknowledges his tendency to get carried away. Nonetheless, his family remains supportive. In the following days, he continues to send her messages, but she doesn't respond. His dad comes up with various theories about her silence, but Maddie's instincts are correct. She tells him that Sadie has ghosted him. He suddenly recollects leaving his inhaler in her purse, and it dawns on him that he had placed a tracker on it, just as he does with all his belongings. Upon checking the location, he discovers that she's currently in London. His mom and dad encourage him to surprise her in London, but Maddie expresses doubts, fearing he might come across as a loser. Despite her concerns, his parents back his idea, and before long, he sets off on a journey to London. In his pursuit of following her location in London, he inadvertently finds himself in a dim and isolated alley where he falls victim to a kidnapping by unknown individuals. The next harrowing scene unfolds in what appears to be a laboratory filled with menacing insects intended for torturous purposes. The man in charge insists that Cole is the tax man, but Cole vehemently protests, stating that he's a farmer. As the imminent torture looms, a dramatic turn of events occurs when Sadie suddenly arrives on the scene wielding a gun. With precision, she single-handedly neutralizes all the assailants, saving Cole from harm. As they make their escape, the alarms blare, leaving him astonished by her unexpected skills. It transpires that she had deceived him about her profession as an art curator. In reality, she is a CIA agent. In the midst of the chaos, a fierce shootout ensues, and she hands him a gun to defend himself. Though he refrains from shooting people, he seeks cover to protect himself during the intense exchange of gunfire. Emerging from the cave, they reveal their location to be the Khyber Pass in Pakistan. Just as they prepare to depart in her jeep, they face an unexpected assault by the local security forces. In a frantic attempt to escape, they resort to commandeering a bus at gunpoint, taking it over as their means of evading the pursuers. Now aboard the bus, the security forces relentlessly pursue them, firing shots in their direction. The chase becomes a prolonged and intense ordeal, with some soldiers even managing to board the bus. However, Cole, drawing upon his wrestling skills from his school days, expertly subdues the intruders, skillfully neutralizing them. After successfully eliminating all the pursuing vehicles and bikers, the bus finally comes to a halt. She informs him that they will need to continue their journey on foot. The scene then shifts to the cave, introducing a man named Levesque, who is the true mastermind behind the mission. Levesque is seeking a passcode from the taxman, and they mistakenly believe Cole to be the one they are after. He announces to his men that whoever manages to capture the taxman will be rewarded with $1 million. Meanwhile, Sadie and Cole arrive at a location called Mingola, where she encounters a man named Marco, who holds considerable influence in the area. Upon meeting her, Marco also makes a bold move by kissing her. During their conversation, they discuss a dangerous biochemical weapon called Aztec, capable of devastating the eastern seaboard. To Cole's surprise, Sadie discloses that her main objective in the cave was to acquire Aztec, and he was a secondary concern. She requests Marco's help in ensuring Cole's safe return to America, and he agrees to assist. Unbeknownst to Cole, Marco and Sadie have a history as they used to be in a relationship, sharing the same profession, which made their partnership work seamlessly. As Sadie departs, she warns Cole never to reach out to her again. However, shortly after her departure, a sudden and shocking turn of events occurs when a black man shoots Marco dead. At gunpoint, he takes Sadie and Cole captive. While taking them away, the leopard intervenes, sent by Levesque to confront them. Upon getting into the car, a mysterious figure known as the Lion emerges and eliminates the leopard. The Lion orders them to continue driving after disposing of the leopard's body. Unfortunately, the Lion meets the same fate and is killed. Despite the chaos, Sadie and Cole seize the opportunity to escape, successfully getting away from their captors. In the car, Sadie discloses that they cannot use the Aztec weapon as they lack the passcode. She further reveals that she killed her coworker, Edna, who turned out to be a traitor working with the enemy, as she had encrypted the passcode. Sadie then punches Cole, rendering him unconscious. When Cole wakes up, he finds himself in the hands of Sadie, now acting as a bounty hunter. She presents him as the taxman with the passcode to Levesque and his men. They force him onto a plane, where he faces the threat of torture to reveal the passcode. However, Levesque delegates this task to his right-hand man, Wagner, as he stays behind. As they search, they stumble upon a photo of Sadie and Cole together in bed, prompting her to claim she's the taxman with the Aztec passcode on the plane. However, she swiftly turns the tables, attacking her captors, overpowering Wagner. However, she was stabbed by the man. Cole utilizes his wrestling skills to take down another assailant. Despite Sadie's plea for him to parachute out with the Aztec, he refuses to leave her behind. Determined, he grabs her, and together, they make a daring escape by leaping off the plane with the Aztec in tow. After 6 hours, they find themselves on Socotra Island in the Arabian Sea, where Sadie regains consciousness. Cole tends to her wounds. The following morning, Wagner and his men launch an attack on them. Fortunately, Sadie had previously sent her location to the CIA, and her team arrives swiftly, eliminating some of Wagner's men. Nonetheless, Wagner manages to escape with Aztec, leaving the CIA team disappointed at the missed opportunity. The scene transitions to the CIA headquarters, where Sadie and Cole are being interviewed by a man named Jackson. During the interrogation, they engage in another argument, triggered by Sadie's claim that rescuing Cole was a mistake as she lost Aztec in the process. This deeply offends him. As they're being questioned, lie detectors indicate a clear sexual tension between them, leading Jackson to humorously suggest they find a room to address their feelings. Sadie meets her boss, Dr. Yates, who expresses disappointment and warns her that she might lose her job. Meanwhile, Jackson speaks negatively about Sadie to Cole, who still defends her. However, when Cole sees a photo of Elena, he notices a plant that Elena used to figure out the Aztec password. They decide to retrieve the plant from Elena's apartment urgently. To accomplish the mission, they use Cole, telling him they must take down Levesque, as Levesque believes Cole is the taxman and won't stop pursuing him otherwise. Amidst concerns that his family might be harmed, Cole decides to assist the CIA. However, Sadie warns him that they are merely using him, leading Cole to point out that they say the same about her. While Sadie departs from the CIA headquarters, Cole begins working for them. Meanwhile, Mr. Utami, the individual who hired Levesque for Aztec, visits Levesque and urges him to obtain it promptly. They plan to meet the taxman, and Utami threatens to kill Levesque if they fail to obtain the passcode. Taxman Cole is determined to obtain Aztec from the opposing group. At the designated meeting spot in the restaurant, Cole's team is brutally killed, and Jackson's dying words urge him to flee. However, Cole decides to stay, trusting that Sadie will come to his rescue. As he sits at the reserved table, Utami and his men join him. Cole pretends to be a traitor, claiming he seeks riches, but Levesque remains unconvinced, skeptical of his intentions throughout the meeting. While waiting for Sadie to arrive, Cole remains vigilant. Finally, Sadie appears, and Cole reveals to Mr. Utami that she is the true taxman and possesses the passcode. Utami promptly sends her the agreed-upon payment after Sadie opens the case containing the Aztec. Levesque attempts to kill her, but finds himself surrounded by the bounty hunters she had hired. As the shootout ensues, Sadie and Cole take cover under a table and manage to secure Aztec. They fight together against their adversaries, but later get separated when Cole faces off with Wagner. Utami instructs Levesque to escape, but Levesque kills him. Meanwhile, Cole and Wagner end up in the control room with massive gears, inadvertently activating them during their fight. The building starts spinning, causing the chaotic situation to escalate further for everyone else fighting inside. During a confrontation, Wagner and Cole fight while Levesque and Sadie have a shootout. Cole kills Wagner and rushes to save Sadie from Levesque, but Levesque gains the advantage and takes Aztec. Sadie shoots the ceiling, causing it to collapse on Levesque and saving Cole, but she retrieves Aztec before Levesque fell from the building. They kiss, and Cole compliments Sadie's black dress. The next scene shows Sadie and Cole having a meal with Cole's family, who are delighted to have her there. Maddie is also impressed as they share their experiences with the family. The story then jumps 3 months ahead, with Cole and Sadie now in a relationship and thriving in their careers. They open the car trunk to find a man with his mouth taped shut, whom Sadie reveals is an arms dealer. Despite this, they proceed with their date. Thank you for watching, and I highly recommend watching the entire movie as it is incredibly enjoyable. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel, so you can stay updated and receive notifications whenever we upload new videos.